So I bought myself some planners on sale. I think this one was like $15. It's because it's a 24-25 planner. And it is a horizontal. And this is the one I was going to use for work, personal. And I'm thinking about kind of adding as a cultural planner. I was going to do one cultural planner added into my Frankenplanner, but it can't handle 5 planners in one. I was trying to figure out a way to get all the planners for the year situated, and I figured the best way is to just get myself the right planners that I need. I don't have the time to create all the planners with school, work, and everything else going on. So I really like the cover of this one though. I wish it didn't say 24-25 on it. Other than that, I might have to find a way to cover that and use that a different year. I also like the cover of this one. And this one is my social media and business planner. And I just was really excited that I found these ones cheaper than the regular planner. They both... Oh no, I think this one didn't need to be redated, but the other one did. So that kind of affects how I choose my planners. But I'm really happy that I have some to pull the pages from. I created the dates for the date changing of the 24 planner from Canva. I just printed it off and found some fonts I liked and got the numbers, and I created the boxes also in Canva. And I just wanted to do black boxes this time. I was trying to figure out what could go with the theme, so I just made a variety of boxes. And then I made just a grouping of mountains and moons and stars, trees, constellations, clouds, moons, roses for Valentine's Day. And I just did them all, printed them off, and then kind of worked with that. Okay, so the theme for this month is mountains for the monthly layout. So I kind of laid them out a little bit, got an idea, and I'm just gonna try and jump in, see how they kind of lay out, and then add some boxes and things like that. So let's jump into it. I've been trying to work on how I'm doing my placement of stickers, and having a theme really helps me a lot, just trying to figure out how I want to use the stickers, placement, the coloration, and trying to make the stickers work together. These are printed on clear paper, so it actually was a little bit harder. I didn't think about that. I should have printed them on white paper. Then I could have layered them a little bit easier, I think, with the mountains. But it still looks kind of interesting and cool, being able to see some of the mountain in the background behind the other mountains. But I kind of had fun just playing around, trying to figure out how to do the placement and laying down the mountains in kind of like groupings. And because the first starts on a Saturday and I usually do a Sunday start, it made it so I had the whole top area to work with. And sometimes that can be fun, just to kind of do a theme across the entire top area. And I finally learned my lesson and just whited out all of the lines in the top squares, so I didn't have to keep trying to do little pieces. And I really liked the way that it came out. I was still like, my biggest part is, when do you stop? And I was like, okay, that's enough mountains. I kept wanting to try and keep adding more mountains. And we have a birthday in February and a couple other. I tried to stick with a theme of like black and white. So a lot of the words and other decor is black, white, and grays, except for the Valentine's Day. Then I just wanted to cover over the words for Valentine's Day and President's Day with the stickers I had from the teacher book. And trying to figure out how I wanted to add it. And I decided I didn't want to add any boxes into the monthly. I put the stars there, didn't like the way they looked. So I decided to pull them back off, figure out a different star layout. And I just had a lot of fun kind of playing a little bit more. And I wanted to add a little bit of border on the bottom just to kind of make it feel complete. It didn't really feel complete to me with the bottom being plain, so I really liked adding that grid pattern. And then I got some stars because the other ones I didn't like the style of the other stars, but these stars I really liked a lot. So I decided those were better looking. So I put them around on the top area, trimmed them off, and felt like, okay, we got it to a good spot. And then I wanted to add some of the script text on top of the black, just to add a little element. And then I just created something simple with washi tape, moons and stars up on the top. I didn't want to go too crazy, trying to figure out the placement of the boxes. I think maybe I should have printed off some grays to kind of mix it up, but I still like all the black boxes too. I mean, it goes with everything, right? And I decided to just work through all of my weeks and try and find some good decoration. I kept trying to keep the same theme with the grid pattern washi tape so that everything would be cohesive throughout the month. And I also used that script washi tape, what I ripped off from the other parts. So I feel like it kind of brought everything together a little bit. I was still trying to figure out how to do some placement. I had fun with the moons. But like I said, I think some of it would have been better if I would have used white instead of clear stickers. And then I changed my mind and I was like, oh, I used the wrong moon because there was one with the clouds I wanted to use. These clouds are like anime clouds, and I don't know why, but this right here is my favorite spread of all of them. I really like the way that those clouds came out. I found them on Canva, and I had so much fun trying to place them. The design of these clouds and the moon and everything just really brought to mind. Me and Jay have been doing like anime watching, and like that's our mom and daughter time, and it's been really fun. And this is just brought to mind because we just finished Arcane, so this kind of fits in with that theme a little bit. I think with the clouds, they look like Jinx's tattoos, and so it was really fun to kind of do this and also start adding the boxes. So adding boxes is something I'm kind of trying to figure out on placement wise, how to still keep myself having functional space, having different size boxes, adding different elements. And I can say that this definitely was one of my ultimate favorite spreads from all the ones I did for my planners. This time, with all the planners, I tried to keep it within the same, I guess, color palette, with the blacks, whites, and grays. There are slight blues in there, but I don't know why, but it made me feel like all the planners were connected in my Frankenplanner by having the same kind of color palette. Even if they had different themes throughout, they still had the same kind of color palette, so I felt like it kind of connected the planners together. It's nice to still have that same kind of theme as well of having them kind of match and flow, it doesn't distract going from like really bright colors to black and white. It just kind of kept everything the same. And then with the script, I realized it covered my numbers, so I just stripped that part off. My next planner spread for my weeklies, I think I tried to keep it really simple. I had a really hard time with this one. I didn't give myself quite the theme I thought I was going to, so you can see me messing with washi tape, a bunch of different kinds, and then change my mind, do it again. But the washi tape on the bottom I really liked, and it had more golden tones than silver, but I still really liked the way that it looked. And then I decided to bring that plaid in, but then I wanted to cut it smaller. I felt like it was too fat of a washi tape, and I didn't have really any black thin washi tape, so then I decided to try and cut the washi tape down to make it work better. I didn't know if everybody liked the stories that I told in the January spread, so I didn't do any stories this time. But the theme that inspired this section was thinking about the world that I go and visit, and how there's mountains and giants and the moon so bright, the stars, and just that's what's been inspiring a lot of my spreads, is thinking about the story. I really want to write, thinking about a fiction book of writing it. I still have a couple of fiction books to finish off the series I already started writing, but I think that the story I told in January when I was setting that one up is going to be the beginning of a whole new world that I want to create and that I want to storytell with. And if you guys like the stories when I'm setting up the spreads, I will definitely continue that. I've always liked planning and organizing and sharing with you guys, but I am a writer and storyteller at heart, and so I really like telling stories too. So I'm trying to find that balance in my videos and in the things that I do creatively, including my journal. So I'm thinking about how I can use my journal to maybe write some short stories, or to share with you guys the worlds that I create. So I really like the simplicity of this spread, and I think that sometimes it's okay just to do a couple strips of washi tape, some boxes, and be done. And I felt like there was a lot of weeks to decorate when I was doing Frankenplanning, so I started trying to simplify the layouts more and try and just figure out how I wanted to decorate, how I wanted to connect everything. I don't know the names of any of these constellations, but I just thought that they looked really interesting, they looked fun, and that's definitely the point of our planners. If I look at this spread, and even though I don't know the names of the constellations, and it reminds me to look up at the stars, it reminds me to take a deep breath at nighttime and to reflect on my day and to be grateful for everything I have, then I am very happy that I can use this spread, because it does remind me that there is a big world out there, and that I'm really thankful for the people and things and opportunities I have. And I think that's the running theme for this month, is just thinking about reflection, thinking about the environment and space around me, because I really love the mountains and I love the stars. And I like looking at the moon at nighttime. So those are things that just remind me to look around myself a little bit. This spread right here is actually probably the simplest spread, and it's funny because the theme of this one was supposed to be planets, but the only planets I could find looked really kiddish, and I didn't like that. I did find a couple stickers that I was happy with, so this one I kept very simple. A couple of groupings of just black and white planets, some stars, and kept it as simple as I could. And I'm trying to find that balance in my planners, because there's 3 to decorate, on how to not go too crazy with the decoration, because there's 3 of them and that's a lot to decorate. It also becomes a point where it takes the joy out of doing the planners if I have so much to create and to do. Because I had all of the stickers cut out before I started doing the layout only took me about an hour, but cutting the stickers took about an hour, hour and a half, so total 2 hours. There are a few other changes that I made. I put a divider in with my goals because I actually haven't been looking at this page, so I wanted to do that. I kept my dailies, and then what I did was I kind of did this off of squared plans, but I changed my dividers so that they were all clear, and then I could put one in the calendar, one on the projects list or the dashboard part, one on the current weekly, and then one on the review page. And so that's for every calendar, but everything else is the same. I just changed the dividers, and these dividers are just laminated pouches. I laminated one pouch, stuck it inside another pouch, and laminated it, and it makes these really clear, thick, nice pages where they don't take up much room, so I really like those. With the setup, so you see the setup, so let me do the setup. The thing that changed with these ones, well, first, I already went, if you've watched the other video of January, the changes I made, I went from this setup to this weekly. I actually was going to just keep with this weekly because I was going to turn these into hourly, but I'm going to leave my dailies alone. So I went to horizontal for this one. So I went from vertical to horizontal. Then for this one, I went from the lined ones to just the 3 boxes. For the social media one, one thing I'm gonna say is I changed this and made sure it was 1-2. I had to redate this one because it was a 2024. The final flip through, the final reveal. So I really like this picture. I tried to paint one this month, but I just didn't have the mental capacity to do that, so I just found one. And then I love the way the mountains all came together up top. This will probably be filled out a lot more. I haven't tried the horizontal, so I'm excited to try that. And I really like having a dashboard, so we'll see how this kind of works this month. Roses for Valentine's Day. Trying out the boxes. And then we jump to the social media and business. So this monthly is what I'm hoping to have planned for social media. So Thursdays are usually YouTube. When do I want to do the shorts, Instagram posts, Facebook, things like that. This is blank, and so I figured that would be kind of notes or things like that. Not sure what to do with those dashboards for the next month that I whited out. I did not like the student cover. I don't like any of the student covers, but I wanted the student planner. So I'm just covering it over with this. Monthly, the dashboard I created in Canva, and then the monthlies. The only problem is when I did this one, I did not have the colors throughout, but it is what it is. I'll make it work. I'll probably just draw some lines in. But it's pretty plain right now. I don't have any of my schedule in here just yet. And then this was how Happy Planner does it, is they have the next month's dashboard on the back of the previous month's, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I whited it out, and I'll probably use this for notes, or maybe focus just on my dissertation on this back page. Not sure how I'm going to use this. It'll be really interesting to kind of play with and see what I'm going to use it for. But that's the flip through. If you guys have any questions, does anyone else find it irritating that they do the next month's on the previous month's dashboard, the dashboard part where they put it, and that they don't put all the days in the months? Because that is one of my pet peeves. But I didn't want to create a whole new planner, and when I cut them out, I have issues. So if you guys have any tips on printing them front and back without having them skewed the wrong way, I've been really having issues with that, because I would like to print out my own pages or to get some printables from somebody else, but I can't seem to figure out the printing part of it. It's really frustrating. But I'm really happy that I got the student planner. This will work for the rest of the year. Happy to try out the squares for the business one, and I'm kind of interested to see how this one will work. I'm not really used to horizontal, so that will be kind of interesting. And if it doesn't work, I guess I go back to bullet journal spreads and make my own monthlies, which would be really interesting. We'll see. But that is this month's February's for my 3 calendars, my 3 planners, and my Frankenplanner. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, Muppy.